Hello and welcome to the Globetrotter. Today we have a multi-talented power couple who is very much in love with each other as much as we love them.
Let's welcome Stephanie and Dushyanth Stephanie.
Hey Stephanie and Dushyanth, welcome to the Globetrotter.
Hey,
Hello,
Zafrana.
Zafrana.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being with us today. We just recently saw your wedding video that you all released on YouTube. Whose idea was it to have a destination wedding and who picked Italy?
Oh, well, it was more of Stephanie's mom's tradition that we were, taking forward. So Stephanie's mom is actually a Lebanese, Italian, Portuguese mix, right? She's more Lebanese. So her parents got married in Italy because Stephanie's mother's sister is a nun and she's not allowed to go out. So
it's a closed order.
Yeah, so she had promised her sister that whenever she would get married, she'll get married to the closest church to her sister. And that's when it happened about 33 years ago. And Stephanie thought, so Stephanie wanted to do the same.
So we got married in the exact same church my parents did. Bagnoregio is actually in Viterbo. And that little town has a beautiful story. So if you saw in the video, there's a huge bridge. And then only you reach this little town. And in it, there is the church where we got married. So
there's only about 25 families in
25 families who live there. So that was all one entire area. But there was a huge earthquake that took place many years ago. And that's when the earth fell apart and those valleys were created. So the belief is, in the church that we got married, one of the walls, actually during the earthquake, it fell. And they found an ancient painting of the Blessed Virgin on another wall behind the wall that fell. So they believe that the Blessed Virgin protected that entire surrounding area surrounding the church. And it's called the ghost town, the Civita di Bagnoregio. And that's why they made this entire long bridge to get to that area, because if not, there wasn't a way to reach that area because it was all protected.
It's so different to the rest of Rome, It's such a beautiful village where you pass such beautiful scenery.
It's like time has stopped still there, and that's the beautiful attraction there. It's like
so
you're
serene.
back in the medieval ages.
Zafrana was suggesting that you sing it straight away.
Better to put the clip, no? What are we doing?
I think Parla più piano,
okay.
You know the...
Go.
Okay. Parla più piano e nessuno sentirà. Il nostro amore lo viviamo.
Parla più piano, vieni più vicino a me. Voglio sentire gli occhi miei dentro di te. Nessuno sa la verità. È un amore mai più grande esisterà.
Parla più piano e nessuno sentirà. Il nostro amore lo viviamo io e te. È un amore mai più grande. Esisterà.
Did the speakers go?
Thank you so much for being so spontaneous.
I saw a picture of Dushyanth sitting in front of, I don't know, it looked like a steak.
Oh yes, so that was in Rome.
Brilliant
That
steak.
That's the best
Is
beef
that the
I've
one you
ever.
stole from me?
So
He stole it
So
from me.
basically,
So he didn't order
that was a deal.
I did.
No, that was a
I
deal.
ordered it.
That was a deal. One of those days we were gonna order for ourselves, and we were not allowed to eat each other's food. right? So that day I ordered this beef. Oh
I
my
ordered the
God,
beef.
it just melted in my mouth.
It was the best beef.
So
It literally
good.
melts in your mouth.
I know.
So I got
saw it.
so pissed because he ate it and he didn't share the last bit with me. So next time we went to Rome, I ditched him. I went there by myself and had it. And we went to Capri. So we went to the Amalfi Coast for our honeymoon. So first we did a small trip with our family. We went to Venice. We went to Sperlonga with my family. We went to Venice with his. We did a little bit of Monte Cantoni and Florence as well. But then we broke away and we went to the Amalfi Coast. We drove there, which was beautiful. And then we went to Maiori. So in Maiori and Amalfi and Capri, they have the best lemons. So lemon sorbet, lemon gelato, and because it's a coastal area, they have this beautiful way of frying your fish. So you go and you pay like €5 or €10, and they have a little cardboard thing that they roll like a cone, and they put shrimps, cuttlefish, and it's like the Sri Lankan handella.
Yeah, handella.
Like that. So they batter it nicely, and then they put
So
lemon
good.
on it, and they give you mayo and tomato.
So as soon
mayo
as you
and
get off
ketchup.
the boat, that's
So
your treat.
as soon as you get off, you go buy that and you just literally dip it, and it's so crunchy and fresh in your mouth. It's so delicious.
Amazing.
It's their street food there. So once you land in Fiumicino, well, obviously stay a few nights in Rome because there's so much history for you to absorb.
Right.
So
But actually now, whenever
lovely-
you're gonna visit Italy, I think now would be the sooner you do it will be the best, because I'm sure there's so much less tourists now in Rome,
and less pollution.
and you'll get more time to see all the historical places.
Because the lineups are huge unless you get an expedited pass. So obviously you want to do the Colosseum. We had a lovely
Spending about
dinner.
3 days in Rome
Yeah,
should be
3 to
good
4,
enough.
5
minimum.
days, because you want to do it. You want to take your time and do it. So you can go for the historical side, or you could go for the religious. We've done both.
Both.
Well, obviously we had a lovely dinner and a tour of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
A very bloody place, but fantastic. So much history
The
behind
food
it.
is so good.
The infrastructure, the architecture.
I'm sorry,
The architecture, if you imagine it, so every niche you see in the Colosseum actually back in the day had a beautiful statue in Gothic, in the Gothic art way. So Gothic art is more with fine, tiny lines, while Romanesque architecture and Romanesque sculptures actually have thicker. So in a fold, so for example, the hijab you're wearing, if it was in Gothic, you'll see every single finite line beautifully sculpted, absolutely gorgeous. Attention to detail, like La Pietà, the Mercy, Leonardo's at the Vatican. It was beautiful. So there's so much detail there for you to go and see. So we had a lovely dinner at the Colosseum. Then you can go and see the Spanish steps. You can go and see, so there's this, if you're religious, you can actually climb the stairs that they say is the stairs that Jesus climbed. Mm-hmm. So there are blood stains.
Oh,
so you
right.
actually climb it on your knees. And then they have around the blood, they have it all nicely framed in gold. And so you would climb up on your knees to see, because he was carrying the cross as he did that. Then you have the Vatican museums, so many beautiful churches, the Pantheon.
Yep.
The Pantheon.
You said well.
So I was his tour guide when we were there. So inside here. So this is how it looks on the outside. So there's a beautiful piazza. It's in Piazza Novena, I believe. So you can go have dinner. There are restaurants there. We had one facing the Pantheon. So once
again,
you
try
go
the beef. It's the best.
So once you go there, right at the back, I don't know if you can see, there's a huge dome-like shape. So the amazing thing about this architecture is there's an oculus right in the middle where the sunlight comes through. And so there are sculptures, little niches with sculptures, I believe in 4 or 5 corners of this dome. And based on the sun's travel,
Oh.
The sunlight goes and hits each one of these beautiful
Nice.
niches and these sculptures. You see all of these?
Yes.
This is what the entire Pantheon is made of. These blocks, there is no cement, nothing to stick them together. It was architecturally done. So because of the pressure that each block puts on each other, that it stays as a dome. So can you imagine that? Just by using the pressure of each one leaning on each other, they've made this perfect dome. So if one slides a little bit, the whole thing crumbles. Because there's nothing else holding it in, which is fantastic. Like imagine how smart you have to be to figure that out.
So definitely Stephanie likes the architect side of Rome. How about Dushyanth? What did you love?
Oh, I'm sorry. I love the food.
Fontana. The Fontana.
I love the food.
What about
honestly, everywhere I went, Stephanie was such a tour guide, right? She knew about it because she had studied so much about it.
And I lived
for
there.
me, in about 2-3 days' time, I had like a load of information going into this little place, right? And all I did care was, okay, where is the next steak?
So definitely go check out the Fontana. They also say that if you visit the Fontana, you throw a coin.
Fine.
And you should learn this trick. And you should learn this trick of Stephanie's. Safrana, you should learn this trick of Stephanie. She does this every time she goes and asks for gelato.
Oh, come on.
So what she'll do is, she'll say, oh, can I try this flavor? And she'll say, and she'll try every flavor in the store.
I just want to make sure I'm making the right choice.
Right?
So beautiful in Italy is as you enter the train, everyone's a stranger. And then within 5 minutes, everyone's talking to everybody.
The first 2-3 minutes, everyone is like, just greeting each other. And they start talking, gracias, and all that. And 15 minutes, it's like, can you hear me? Because it's so loud.
Stephanie, why don't you give out some words in Italian with the meaning so people can try it out to converse when they're there?
Good morning. Come stai? How are you? Stai bene? I'm good. Thank you. Grazie. Thank you.
So you go to Greece, you say gracias.
Yeah.
We've been to Venice about, 3-4 times?
But we've never been on a
We've
gondola.
never been on a gondola.
Really?
Every time we tried, it failed. Something or
And
the other.
also,
We
I
got
think-
late or something, or we were fighting or something.
I think now is the best time to go on the gondola because the water is so clean and apparently there are dolphins and all swans. So when you go to Venice, it's so beautiful. I would love to go in Feb, I believe, because that's when the masquerade happens. So people dress up. It's an actual, everyone dresses up like in the medieval days, and that's where the Venetian masks come in. So they have a beautiful party. And so then you have to
I'll send you a video of that as well.
Oh, I remember getting ripped off with my tiramisu there. They thought they could pull one over on me.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
So basically, the tiramisu was frozen, and
She put it in a microwave.
and heated it.
And I was like, excuse me? That's not how you serve tiramisu. I don't think she knew I was Italian. So she thought that she'd just give me, this is how we eat. I was like, no. I don't want this tiramisu. I want a refund.
And she got so pissed off, she threw the money at her.
Yeah.
Capri was our spot for the honeymoon, right? So they're famous for their lemon.
What's funny is as soon as we entered Capri, we got off the ferry. So we both decided to backpack to our honeymoon. So we literally had 2 little black bags. That was it. No suitcase, nothing.
And suddenly we are like
even
walking,
when we went to
thinking
Dubai,
no one is going to recognize. And suddenly, Dushyanth!
yeah. So they gave us this beautiful house with this lovely like terrace area that just overlooks the entire sea, and it was completely private. So it was just him and I. This beautiful room. So when the curtains open, you see the sea, and you had a little lovely hammock and just sculptures and gardens all over the place. It was just so romantic.
So we went to this place in Mayuri.
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 So it's a fort. And you tell.
You tell. I'll tell the
So it's an
Interesting
old
one.
ancient fort with a little private beach down in a little cave. You can go and swim there.
So just about 1 month before we went there, Leonardo DiCaprio was staying in the same restaurant.
Yeah. So
Or he had basically bought the whole place.
So it's like a little, the rook in a game of chess.
Yeah.
In a game of chess, that's exactly what it looks like. So on the top
I think I sent you the pictures.
On the top part, you have a beautiful restaurant, so you can sit and eat and watch the sea and all of that. And apparently he was
romantic.
So he's like, there's a very famous American who's coming to get married here. Very famous. What's her name? And after about 1 hour, he went and checked his papers. He's like, this J-Lo? I'm like,
yeah, Jenny.
So I thought he would plan the honeymoon because I was doing the bulk of the wedding. And then I'm like, okay, so what's the plan for the honeymoon?
Let's just go.
So do you want to go to Switzerland? I was like, you don't have anything organized? And he's like, we'll go to Amalfi, we'll go to Capri. I was palpitating. I think I was so pissed at him the first day.
Yeah.
And
that's because he's a control freak. Okay?
I love adventuring.
Exactly.
Like
so he let it become an adventure rather planning and going to places and being on time, because I hate to be stressed while I'm on a holiday. I don't want to be worried about a train ticket or a bus ticket or something like that. You miss a bus, you take the next one. You stay the night over and, meet some new people, try some new food,
My heart is slightly palpitating.
And she was like tripping. Oh my God, how can I do this? I said, this is how your life is going to be for the rest of your life.
Let's say someone has 4 days to actually go around Rome. Let's say they are part of a big trip. And in Rome, they have 4 days. So what are the places that you would tell them to visit?
One advice I will give is, if you're Sri Lankan, right, try to find out who's there in Rome.
I would say take 1 day to do the Vatican. Because it's really nice to go see the Sistine Chapel. And when you walk into the Vatican, you see La Pietà, you see all these amazing sculptures.
And also do your homework before you go, so that when you see it in real, it makes a lot of sense.
That will take you about a day to do it properly. And if you are religious, stay for a mass. Then I would say
stay for a mass anyway. It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. Then I would say the next day, take it to go and have a nice lunch by the Colosseum and do that. So half your day is going to be finished. Then maybe go and have a dinner and ice cream at La Fontana di Trevi. That's a really nice one. Then the next day you can do the piazza where the Pantheon is. Spend the day there. There's a lot of places you can walk. You can rent a bicycle and cycle around. Maybe do a little bit of shopping. Go do that. Then it's the 4th day already. So yeah, it's too little time, guys. Don't go to Italy for 4 days.
Dushyanth, Stephanie, thank you so much for joining with us today. It was so interesting. It was so interesting. I don't think we've ever heard of Italy so much, so passionately. So thank you so much for taking us around Italy, at least virtually with you all today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.